just tell you a little bit about the history. The history is that I have had health problems for quite a long time. And Brenda knew me when I was on bee venom in order to deal with one of the complicated health problems I was dealing with the Lyme's disease. So I started it in order to help me with that. And it's actually a very effective treatment, but it's a very big treatment. You know, you have to sting yourself with live bees, and in order for me to do that and not be completely bedridden, I had to spend 2 hours a day doing various different detox protocols, and I had to do that 7 days a week. So even though I was just stinging myself 3 days a week with bees, the detox protocols were really comprehensive. So I was trying to figure out a way to do something that was a little bit not as difficult. So I have known that part of my health problems have been around toxicity. I've known that for quite a long time. And the Ayurvedic treatments, one of the things that they're really brilliant at is detoxifying. So it's not based on an allopathic medical model where they try and figure out what the specific ailments are and then target a treatment plan based on that. What they do is they look at the doshas that are out of balance and look at some of the ways to bring them into balance, and the kinds of things that they do is they use diet, and they use oils, and they use massage, and they use various different kinds of ways to detoxify your system. So 3 years ago, I went and I had a really good result. And they said, you know, with the kind of longstanding health issues that I had, that I would need to go back frequently, like every year for a few years, in order for my health to stabilize out. And that was right at the very beginning of the pandemic. And so I wasn't able to go back. And for not the next year, but I went back this year, and I brought a group of students with me. So what I have is I've got a short little video from the Ayurvedic Hospital itself that I want to show you. And then I have a slideshow that I've made based on pictures of friends before I left, and some of the group of students who were there with us, and some of the people that we met while we were there, and some of the things that we did, so that you get a kind of a feeling for what it was like and what the experience is. So let me share my screen, and nope, that's not going to do it. Let's do this. Let's do that. Nope, that's not going to do it. Let's do, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Now let's try sharing my screen again. Okay, this is it. Optimize for video clip, share my screen, and let me play this video.
The Saranya Ayurvedic Hospital is situated at a village in the Boluampati Valley of the Western Ghats, next to the Coimbatore-Palakkad highway. It's a serene, quiet little place. Anyone visiting here might mistake it for some sort of a nature resort or retreat. Dr. Rohini, one of the lead doctors at the facility, says it's how the hospital was intended to be, a healing center in the lap of nature.
Nature, by its very essence, heals us by balancing the natural elements in our body, which brings about harmony to our system. The campus is blessed with natural beauty, scenic walkways shaded by the trees, wildlife like dancing peacocks and flying parrots, unpolluted air, and a calmness undisturbed by the sound of the city. Being in tune with the nature, listening to the birds and wind, experiencing the fresh air and the views of the mountain ranges, engages the five senses and heals the Panchamahabhutas.
Ayurveda is a system of traditional Indian medicine that's rooted in Prakriti or nature. In the system, cure to illnesses is achieved by restoring the harmony of the mind and body, thereby getting the person back to being in equilibrium with his nature. There's some serious work that happens at the hospital. Around the year, hundreds of people come here seeking treatment. They come from all over India and many parts of the world, convinced that the ancient Indian system of medicine has a cure for their illnesses that other systems of medicine do not. Ayurveda dates back several centuries. Its therapies include herbal medicine, special diets, meditation, yoga, massage, purgatives, enemas, and medical oils. Ancient Ayurveda texts also taught lifestyle and diet modifications, which helps in maintaining a healthy body and mind. The Saranya Ayurveda Hospital itself draws its lineage from the late Padma Shri awardee Dr. P.R. Krishnakumar, one of the tallest figures of Ayurveda in India from recent history. He settled the hospital in its current 30-acre campus along with a large residential facility and an Ayurveda academy. He also ensured that the best qualified and trained doctors and nursing staff served here.
At Saranya, our aim is to provide utmost patient care. Our doctors are well qualified and have further undergone training to manage the patient in the AVP lineage of practice of authentic Ayurveda. We make sure that there are physicians and support staff 24/7 on campus for any emergency care that the patient might need. Another additional thing we are proud of is that we try to freshly prepare as much medicines we can on our campus in our instant medicine unit, so that the medicine delivery is highly effective and preservative free. Our support staff, the nurses or parijarakas, pharmacy staff and others are all highly skilled and dedicated to the well-being of those who trust us with their healthcare. We do continue training sessions for all staff, including doctors, so that they maintain their uniformity and quality of patient care year after year.
Saranya Ayurveda is Coimbatore's first NABH accredited Ayurveda hospital. Here several types of diseases are managed, including orthopedic diseases, neuromuscular disorders, skin diseases, infertility, autoimmune diseases, gynecological disorders, diabetes, obesity, hypertension, among various others. Few Ayurveda treatment centers in the country come close to it in terms of dispensing what is best of the time-tested tradition.
So that was the hospital. You got to get a sense of the grounds, and you also got a sense to meet some of the doctors. So Dr. Vinod was the one doctor who was speaking, and he's a fabulous doctor, but he's an introvert. So, public speaking on movie cameras is not his gig. And so he's a little bit stiff and he's not very fluid, but as a medical doctor, he really cares about his patients, and he's very trustworthy. He's really excellent. You're muted, so if you've got questions, I won't be able to hear you.
It's beautiful. I'd love to. I think I saw part of what your room looked like, and I only saw part of it. The grounds are amazing.
Yeah, the grounds are spectacular, and so it is beautiful. I just found that video like 2 days ago, and so I wanted to show you because it gives you a picture of like the place and the hospital, and now what I want to share with you is the slideshow that I have and tell you stories. So I will start with the stories that, in 2009, I met Kat, and I think in 2016 or in 15, she and Craig met each other and they fell in love and they got married and they had twins. And I've been part of the family all along because of the way that they met and just because of how close I am with Kat and Craig. And so when the babies were born, I was there at the hospital, and so I'm very much embedded in the family. And so just before I left to go to India, I stayed over at their house, and the twins are now 4 years old. And Shane and Viola, you will see, That'll be the first picture. And their emotional intelligence is absolutely extraordinary. So they knew I was going to India, and Viola handed me this little tiny little gingerbread stuffy. She said she wanted me to have that. And she wanted me to have a wrist bracelet. And she said to her mama, I want to take her to the airport in the morning time. We had to leave at 4:30 in the morning. And I thought, what's the chance that this little person is going to be up and ready? She was absolutely up and ready. And then Shane said, you're going away to India. India is far away. I'm going to give you Grover and fill Grover up with love so that when you miss us, Grover will be able to take care of you. So let me share my screen again. And I have another little video, which is a composite of slides, pictures, and videos.
Oh, I'm there to look. So you were friends with both their parents and introduced their
Yeah,
parents.
and that's Ginger, and that's the red bracelet. And that's Shane filling Grover up with love.
Oh, I didn't see the ginger. I could only see
Ginger was very quickly. And here's Grover, and he's going to India.
oh, he's a stuffed animal from Sesame Street.
That's right.
Oh, what is that? Oh,
That's it at the Denver. And now he's in the airplane,
mhm.
and now he's in India.
Oh, Grover's quite the traveler, isn't he?
He's quite the traveler. So you can't see, but Grover was at the feet of that statue.
So
Oh, that's
here's a
beautiful.
map
Oh, what
of
is it?
the floor plan. I'm on the second floor.
Can you hear that?
And you can see that the building is in the shape of a pentagon.
I can't make it
and
any
that
louder. I'm
each
sorry.
of these areas here are spaces, and that the way that these spaces are set up is that they're terraces. So if I look over here, this is one of the terraces. And then if I look down here, this is the hallway, and we're walking to another terrace. So this building is a pentagon, and there's 3 floors. So there's 15 terraces in this building, which means that there's 15 different areas where we can sit outside and have trees and a place to eat our meals and enjoy sharing conversation with others. And so even though there are times when we are in treatment and not allowed to leave the building, we can be here and walk on these corridors, and we can sit on the terraces, and we can enjoy what that experience is like. So I am going to share another terrace, another view, another aspect, which is here. And then I want to take us into a treatment room and give you a sense of what the treatment rooms look like. So this is the table, and what you're looking at in the back corner is the steam chamber, and the wooden structure that's by the window is the Dara equipment, which is what is used for the oil on the head. And then I want to go into the yoga room and show you the yoga room. So we're walking over to the yoga room, and this is the yoga room. It's just a very wide open and spacious building with a whole bunch of windows, and very simple, but very lovely space for doing yoga and for doing meditation. And there are some bookshelves here that have a few books, and there are a very few yoga mats. just another terrace, another lovely tree. I'm going to take you to the one more terrace, and there are some pictures that are on the walls. This is a picture of the temple that is on the campus. So this campus, this hospital campus, has its own Hindu temple, and they have prayers in the morning and in the evening time. You can go there and meditate. So this gives you a feeling of the building. And here we are now back at the same aspect that I showed you initially, with the map on the wall.
So this is a room. And these are the statues in the entrance hall. And this is a picture of the founder. And that's the steam contraption and the table that they use to give you treatments. And somebody carrying washing in the garden. And that's a breakfast. And it's a statue outside the temple. And these are some of the therapists. So let me just pause this for a moment. You know, we're all under treatment and people are coming from all over the world. And when we were there, there was 3 women who were from Israel, and they wanted to have the Friday night Shabbat ceremony. So these pictures in the next video is the first Shabbos that we had. And so here is one of these 2 are or students who came with me to be part of the group I was supporting. Mm-hmm. And this is a puja for the snake temple, the snake puja. Mm-hmm. It was a puja for the environment. So this is the pictures after the big main treatment. We had a special ceremony, and it's a big thing. The treatment is a big thing, and the ceremony is a big thing. So we're doing a special ceremony, and they bring coconuts and bananas and offerings, and I brought offerings and made a special puja to the shrine. So this was the group who were with me on that last day of the puja, and Michelle was one of my students who came with me to be part of this healing pilgrimage. This was a visitor, another one of my students. And this is the group of us at the end of our time together. And the next day we had a closing ceremony. And this is part of the mandala offerings from the closing ceremony. These are the doctors. And this was a going away party. And here we went to the temple to make offerings just before we left. So that's how they would transport some of the breakfast to the other building. And this is a picture I took just in the lotus pond outside.
Oh, it's so beautiful. The flowers, purple and yellow flowers.
Yeah.
Who's hugging?
These are two of my students. This is towards the end of our time together. They're just very much appreciating each other. And this was on our way to the airport.
Wow.
This was the last day.
Mm.
And Vidya is the yoga teacher. She's going to be offering yoga through the Awakening Truth platform as soon as we are able to get the calendar situated. And this is in the airport leaving India.
Wow.
And that's the wristband.
Mm-hmm. You kept it on the
And
whole
this is-
time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely, Yama. I'd like to go. I mean, it's so so inviting, listening to them talk about it and the grounds. And I'm not sure I could get through all the treatments, some of the treatments that you said, but maybe I wouldn't have to have the uncomfortable ones.
Well, the doctors are very kind, and they're kind, and they're also very skillful, and they're skillful in the way that they offer encouragement, as well as they don't push you too hard. So, one of the treatments that's a really important treatment for some people, they have a really bad reaction to it. And so one person who was there, she was only able to do it for a day, and then they stopped her. Yeah. And then somebody else, he was only able to do for 2.5 days, and then they stopped him on it. So they're kind, they're not, and they're very present, helping you to support. So when Dr. Vinod was saying that they've got people on staff 24/7, it's actually the truth. They do have people on staff. Yeah.
So you've gone twice. So you're going to go again next year?
Well, I was planning on going in the summer of 2025, so it'll be a 1.5 years. For me to go once a year is a big commitment. And so even though I have a lot of confidence that has a huge impact on my health, it takes a lot to take the time out. And it also, it's a big trip. It's not a small thing.
Yeah. And you're there for about a month, right?
Yeah. I'm there for a month, and then it takes some time to integrate afterwards, but it is impressive, some of the healing benefits that happen. People with arthritis and people with back pain and people with Parkinson's and high blood pressure and people with diabetes, somebody who had epilepsy. I mean, all kinds of things, and none of it usually is fixed immediately, but most people see definite benefits. Yeah.
How did your students come? Did you just tell them about it and they just expressed an interest in going?
So, I post things on newsletters, and somebody found out about it and they were interested to go. And so they shared in their Sangha that they were going, and 2 other people were interested to join them. And so, yeah, people heard about it and they were interested to come. Everybody had their own reasons, but they thought that it would be helpful to have meditation as a support. And part of the reason why I wanted to go with a group was because the one thing that they didn't offer was any way to work with your mind or to support you to work with the obstacles mentally that keep you from healing. And, the place is like we would know it from our context as living daylight or, luminous gold. It's a profoundly loving environment. It's so loving, it's almost hard to take it in how loving it is. It's completely mind-boggling how loving it is and how much care and attention that you get. And so part of the meditation for me was to help people ground and to land and to help them take in the love and to work on relaxing the obstacles that keep them from taking in the love. And then to let the love be a portal to take them into these wider and more open, spacious experiences of mind so that they could rest in that and settle in that and let that support the treatments. And because the treatments, there are many, like I had 8 or 10 different treatments, they're not all the same. Some of them are incredibly pleasurable and filled with care, and some of them are unpleasant, and some of them are neutral. But you're in this very particular environment where, you're on the other side of the planet. You're doing this thing, which, unless you've done it, you've never done it before. And your body is going through changes. You feel a little bit liquid. The group is really helpful to help process the stuff that's going on, and also to be a support, so that you're not there on your own. So everybody there is incredibly kind, but the kind of bonding that you feel when you've been through something like this together is different. And there's a common ground and a friendliness and a like kindred spirits. It's like, it's like you're part of a tribe. And so people would look out for each other. So it wasn't only that people were asking me, but people would take care of each other.
It sounds
so one day when one of the group was having a hard time, Grover went on a field trip and had a sleepover.
Did you have to return Grover when you got back?
Yeah, so that was the deal. You know, Shane said, you can have Grover, but you must give him back when you come back from India.
Oh, they're so cute, Mama. Those are the cutest things ever. And they're so touched little old souls.
I know, isn't it amazing?
Mm.
Yeah.
Now, are they?
So do you have other questions about the trip?
Well, are the twins here in the Bay Area?
No, they're in Denver.
Do I have no questions about the trip come to me right now, because you've talked to me a lot about it. No, it's just, I think I did not imagine that the grounds would look like that. You know, that it would be so much like a retreat center. That was a surprise, pleasant surprise. And it sounds like, I'm really interested in doing like these full body health related treatments. So, and it would be about $4,000 or $5,000, airfare included, right?
I think that's about right. Yeah.
Mm. Well, if I'm in a financial position where I can do that in the summer of 2025, I might come with you.
Okay. Well, what I will do is I will pop in the chat a link to put your name on a form, because I'm, I know you, but my memory is not, it's getting better, but it's not great. So
No.
let me just pop it in the chat here. And if you're interested in being part of to know more about it, then let me know. Just put your name on that form. And then when I have more clarity about, details about it, then you can just sign up for it. And so, what happened is that there's a question, I asked people to fill out a questionnaire, and there was a time when people needed to make a commitment and things like that. So, yeah. But yeah, I think everybody who went, it seemed like it was a very meaningful experience for everybody, and that they were able to get some of their goals, their health goals, met, and the experience was beneficial. So I was glad that I did it.
Okay. And I'm filling out the form.
Okay, I'm going to pause the recording.